Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 90s Plus on this cloudy Tuesday morning. I'm 90s meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast. We will get into that snow and cold that we're going to be talking about for this upcoming weekend and to next week. But in the meantime, today we have a fair bit more cloud cover and cooler temperatures compared to yesterday. And we're seeing those clouds mostly in the mid and upper levels. Tells us that we're probably not going to see a lot of rain today, but we have certainly a lot of cloud cover. Also, look at those fall leaves. They are just popping right now. It is gorgeous out there, those fall colors. I mentioned this yesterday, that probably today through Friday or Saturday, going to be our peak foliage here in the Denver area. But those fall leaves will probably, and I'm sorry to say this, are probably going to tumble down with some wind that'll arrive Thursday night and through Saturday with our next storm system that arrives. So enjoy those fall colors while we got them. They're probably not going to last beyond, I would say, Friday once that wind kicks up. Now, the Alpine Visitor Center up there at about 11,000 feet at Rocky Mountain National Park, looking nice as well. That will be very, very different looking this time next week. Chance for a gusty shower this afternoon, gradual cool down this week, and big changes for this upcoming weekend. AC operator, mostly quiet for us along the Front Range. We do have a few rain snow showers in the San Juans in southwestern Colorado, and that's part of our next little push of moisture, our next little weak storm system that is going to push its way out to the north and east. That's keeping those temperatures a bit cooler. And it'll also lead to that chance for some rain and maybe some high elevation, very high elevation snow for this afternoon and this evening. So as we walk you through the forecast, chance for a gusty shower around 5, 6, 7 o'clock or so this afternoon for us in the Denver area. That would pretty much be it, and then things clear on out. Closer look in here at the Denver area, we have the chance for, again, a shower between probably about 4 and 8 p.m. this afternoon. And then those should clear on out pretty quickly. This would likely be a few raindrops in the windshield, a little burst of gusty wind. That would pretty much do it. It is notably cooler today with those highs only in the, or those temperatures right now, only in the low 60s for us here in Denver. Low 70s with a bit more sunshine in Colorado Springs and southeastern Colorado. Those clouds keeping a bit of a lid on those temperatures, but we should break out and get into some sunshine this afternoon. That'll get us up in the low 70s for this afternoon. Still about 10 degrees above our seasonal average in the low 60s, 50s, 60s into the high country. Again, isolated gusty shower, probably best chance after about 4 o'clock for this afternoon, and those temperatures topping out in the low 70s. Winds a little bit on the gusty side for this afternoon at times, but again, it'll be within some of those showers that we'll see some of those winds really kick on up. Lows tonight drop back in the low 40s for us here in town. It's cool and clear, pretty seasonal, maybe a little bit cooler, a little bit warmer than average in terms of those lows. Highs in the, lows in the high country in the 30s and 40s, depending on your elevation. Now tomorrow we warm back up again. That is thanks to a bit more sunshine, so we'll be in the mid 70s and highs right around 75. It's close to 15 degrees above our seasonal average, and a few spots in southeast Colorado likely touch 80 tomorrow, 50s, 60s into the high country. But I've been talking about this. By the end of the week, we get a big cold front, a couple of them. In fact, we're going to get 2 or 3 cold fronts. First kind of significant cold front arrives Thursday night. Then we get a second front that arrives on Saturday, and those 2 fronts will bring us some Arctic air and maybe air that does come down from the Arctic, but worth noting, obviously, this time of year, that air in the Arctic isn't quite as cold as it might be in the middle of the winter, so it's going to feel very cold. That's the overall takeaway. So we got a sharp cold front that arrives Friday night and Saturday. That'll lead to some cold and some snow for us for Sunday in particular, and it looks like at this point we could be talking about maybe a slushy inch or so of snow here in Denver. That's the overall takeaway, but in the high country, that's where we could be talking about some significant snowfall. So winterized now, the cold will be the big story. First snow likely this weekend, and have some warm Halloween costumes. I'll show you my early kind of take here on the Halloween forecast as well. And also, again, those warm Halloween costumes, probably a good idea this year. Now, snowfall forecast along and north of I-70. That's where we're looking at a widespread 10 inches plus of snowfall. A few spots may get close to 20, 25 inches of snow, depending on just how long our storm system lasts. But it does look like into the high country, this is going to be a good storm for friends in the high country. First kind of, we actually had a pretty good storm about 2 weeks ago, and this looks like the second decent storm of the season. So that'll help for the ski resorts, start building those bases, start getting that snowpack up and going for us into the high country. Meantime, here in Denver, that looks about right. I mean, we're talking about maybe an inch or 2 of snow for us at most for us along the Front Range. A few of the computer models don't have any snow at all. Depends on the timing of this a little bit, but the snow would be of low impact here in Denver. This probably isn't going to stick to roads. This is probably going to be just a little bit of snow. I call them frosted tips. This is going to be that kind of frosted tip snow where it's just a little bit on the grassy surfaces, car tops, things like that. And then it's pretty much over and done with. So again, not a high impact snow event coming up for us here in the Denver area, but it's of course high impact because everybody freaks out about the first snow of the season. Now, that said, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we do get those temperatures that cool on down. Saturday, that's when I think we see the real sharp front that moves its way on through. Highs in the mid 40s, and then Saturday night into Sunday, that's when we'll probably see that little bit of snowfall. If it happens during the day, we probably won't see much in the way of accumulation. If we get that snow at night, we could get, again, that slushy inch or two on colder surfaces like car tops, things like that. But folks, I want to reemphasize this. The story here is going to be the cold. It's going to be very chilly for us. Look at those lows dropping down to the upper teens. A few of those models get us down to about 16, 17 degrees. It's going to be very, very cold. Needless to say, we're talking beyond a hard freeze. This is the kind of cold that you need to have those sprinklers blown out for. If you don't have your sprinklers blown out and you're planning on doing it next week, I would bump that up to this week because, again, this is going to be that kind of cold where backflow preventers, things like that, could really be affected by this. Now, another thing to keep in mind is if you're heading to the Bronco game, I'm actually heading to the Bronco game on Sunday, it is not going to be warm. It is going to be in the low to mid 30s. Also, there's going to be a bit of a wind probably on Sunday as well. We'll have some light flurries around. Probably won't stick much to the field. It's just going to be really cold out there. And a power field about high, those temperatures stuck in the low to maybe mid 30s. I don't know what that means for Taylor Swift, but she'll probably be in some warm box, so good for her. For the rest of us who are going to be out there in the cold, it is going to be one of those games you want to throw every jacket you got on for, because if you're going to be staying outside for a few hours in the cold, it is not going to be all that warm. Now, here's my early take. This could change. Here's my early take on the Halloween forecast. Is it looks like we're going to be in the upper 30s to start, and then we'll drop down to the mid 20s. So it is going to be a cold Halloween for us. The good news is it should stay dry. I don't think we're talking about snow or rain or anything like that, but it will be very, very chilly out there. But it's been anything but so far this autumn. It's, in fact, our fourth warmest start to an autumn season on record for us here in Denver, with temperatures close to about 5 degrees above average since September the 1st. Now, that'll change a little bit as we head over the next couple of days, but figured I'd give you a little bit of something to round out with, because it's been so warm lately. We are now looking at one of our warmest autumns to date on record, and that number probably going to increase a little bit as we head over the next couple of days, because it'll be warm today, warm tomorrow, and warm Thursday before things really cool on down for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So top line takeaways: gusty shower between about 4 and 8 p.m. this afternoon for us here in the Denver area. Not a big deal. Wouldn't plan around it. Just don't be surprised you get some raindrops and maybe, again, a brief burst of 40, 50 mile an hour winds. That should pretty much do it. Then tomorrow, sunny, warmer again. Thursday, the front moves through probably during the afternoon and evening, depending on the exact timing of that front. That'll determine how warm it gets on Thursday, but expect the day at least in the 60s, if not the low 70s. Then by Friday, we start to really cool down. Saturday, Sunday. Doesn't look pleasant out there with those temperatures. They'll be topping out in the 30s and 40s, some light snow likely for Saturday night into Sunday. And also the potential for temperatures drop down into the upper teens starting Sunday morning, and perhaps Monday morning and Tuesday morning as well. So again, winterize. That is the big takeaway. I know we all get excited about the first snow of the season. I get it, but the big story here: winterize, winterize, winterize now. Because again, when we're talking about upper teens, that's going to do a lot of damage if you are not prepared for temperatures like that. And also, by the way, the high country, pretty good storm coming up Saturday and Sunday with a widespread, probably 8 to 16 inches of snow along and north of I-70 and above, I would say probably 8,000 or 9,000 feet in elevation, depending on exactly where you are there in the high country. So pretty good storm coming up for the mountains this weekend. I know a lot of folks excited about that, but travel will be very difficult in the high country as well. We'll have more on all this coming up here on 9 News Plus later on today. I'll also be on 9 News at noon, and I'll have another update for you here on 9 News Plus at 2 p.m. And then we'll have Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin at 4 and 5, and Meteorologist Danielle Grant and at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News Family Networks. Once again, I'm 9 News Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.